Get up!
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Realliveju, and I'm back at it again. And there was just a topic on my mind. The topic that I want to talk about today it has to do with this monopoly that we call modern medicine, right? The modern medical system. And my entire thing is this. There are so many diseases out here that people are catching. And then they go to the doctor for it. And what you don't realize is that the medicine is actually a treatment plan. It's not a cure. It's how they profit off of it. That's how they make money off of it. But the problem is that all of these diseases that we have out here, such as cancer, type 2 diabetes, I mean, you name it, it's because of our diets and our way of living. And people tend to know that this is the problem, but instead of changing it, they stick with it. And that's because people are too afraid to admit that they're addicted to the foods that you're eating that are making you suffer from these different types of issues. It's in the food. The connection is right there. But the problem is that when I say that you're addicted to it, that puts you in the same category as someone who uses cocaine or someone who uses heroin. And that humbles you and that hurts your feelings. So most of the time, it's not even that people don't know this information. It's that people really don't want to hear it because they're addicted to the food. They would rather go to the doctor and get a pill that allows them to continue on with their addiction instead of stopping their addiction and actually curing the problem. One of the biggest things that gets on my nerves is when people say, oh, well, I'm genetically predispositioned to suffer from type 2 diabetes. It runs in my family. This and that runs in my family. Hypertension runs in my family. No shit, it runs in your family because you're basically eating the same foods that your parents were eating and that your parents' parents was eating. It has nothing to do with an actual gene that makes you more susceptible to suffer from type 2 diabetes. It's the fact that your family has a history of doing the things that cause you to develop type 2 diabetes. You don't have a higher chance of developing type 2 diabetes than I do. There's no gene that actually makes you more susceptible to suffer from it. The only thing that will prevent me from suffering from it and make you suffer from it is the fact that I don't want to catch it, so therefore I'm going to do everything in my power to not catch it. I'm going to eat the right foods. I'm going to stay physically active. The reason why I don't have high cholesterol, even though it supposedly runs in my family and just about everyone has it, is because I'm eating foods that lower bad cholesterol and improve HDL, which is good quality cholesterol. There's foods, leafy green vegetables are high in antioxidants. That increases blood flow. I mean, it's just simple things. And then, of course, you wonder why when you go to the doctor, they don't tell you to make a dietary change and they give you a pill. And that's because the school that taught them the information was created and funded by a pharmaceutical company. The book that your doctor got all of his information from when he was in med school was funded to him by a pharmaceutical company. So what do you expect? It's a big monopoly. They're just profiting off of your illness. They don't want you to know that all you have to do is make a dietary and environmental change, because then no one would have to see the doctor, because the cure to your health will be free. It's right there in front of you. Mother Nature gave you everything that you need to develop a cure for every single ailment and illness out here. It's literally right there. But of course they're not going to tell you that because they make money off of it. I stumbled upon a research that the British Medical Journal had published, and the study basically showed that people who consume milk were actually more likely to suffer from bone fractures. Countries where its citizens consumed more milk than other countries were the same countries who were highest in osteoporosis. But that at this point, that should come as no surprise to you, because what happens is you'll go out and even though I tell you this information, I'm sitting here telling you this information, what you'll do is you'll go out and you'll drink that same glass of milk. You'll probably go home and look up the studies and find out that there's actually scientific research backing this claim. It's not a theory, it's a claim, it's fact. And you'll go out and you'll get your glass of milk and you'll pour it up tonight and you'll dip your chocolate chip cookies in there and you'll eat it and you'll drink the glass of milk. Or you'll wake up tomorrow morning and instead of going out and getting some almond milk, you'll go and you'll get that cow's milk. It's cow's milk is the one that's causing the bone fractures and the osteoporosis. But you'll go out and you'll take that cow's milk and maybe you'll pour it into your eggs to stretch the eggs, or you'll pour it into your bowl of cereal and you'll eat the cereal and you'll drink the milk, even though you know this. And then what happens when you do suffer from osteoporosis years down the road from now? You go and the doctor will give you some sort of treatment plan to slow down the process of the bone degenerative disease that was caused from drinking milk in the process, even though you knew it came from milk. And what happens, the pharmaceutical companies will profit off of that as well, because now you're paying them even more money. But you know what kills your immune system? Antibiotics. There's good bacteria inside of your body that it needs to actually help boost this immune system, along with this hormonal functions and things of that nature. Antibiotics kill all bacteria. Literally, they're killing everything in your body. And it's not just in the medication that you receive. It's in the processed foods that you eat. The foods that's not organic. These fast foods. It's literally all in your food. And then people really don't want to research the backs of labels to see what those ingredients are. I can't remember the particular ingredient, but it was actually over a month ago where I had looked on the back of a snack, saw some really long word that I couldn't pronounce, looked it up and found out that that same ingredient was used to coat wood. Now why in the fuck would I put an ingredient in my body that is used to coat wood? This is the type of shit that they're putting in there. See, the problem is the FDA is also regulated by the pharmaceutical companies. They're also funded by the pharmaceutical companies. So everything that the FDA it says is okay for you to eat and is approved for you to eat by the FDA is only a part of this whole monopoly, because the pharmaceutical companies profit off of that. They tell you it's okay. They put this bullshit into your body. You now have to go and see the doctor and get a treatment plan for, not a cure, a treatment plan, because a treatment plan makes money off of you for the rest of your life. A cure does not make that much money because it's a one-time thing. You cure the problem, you never get it again. It's a whole monopoly. It's a cycle. And we're stuck in it. And I'm sick and tired of people acting so surprised when they develop type 2 diabetes, or when them or a loved one that they know catches cancer or dies from cancer. I never saw this coming. Really? You didn't? Oh, such and such caught a heart attack. Oh, it just came out the blue. It came out the blue? No, it didn't come out the blue. It was a build-up over time. And it starts when you're young. This is some shit that we gotta change. The foods that we eat now are even disrupting our hormonal balances. So you're over here thinking that you got some sort of anxiety disorder, or that you suffer from low testosterone, when in actuality, it's the food causing your hormones to be lower. There is no reason, no fucking reason, why I should have friends who are 20 years old telling me that they got problems getting it up, thinking that it's all in their head and they're getting too nervous when it's time to perform. That's bullshit. It's in the foods we eat, man. It's in the foods we eat. See, good sex shouldn't be one of those things that's just like a rarity to find. Like, good sex is a show of good health. Men, you're supposed to be able to rise to the occasion. Women, you're supposed to be able to have an orgasm. There shouldn't be no reason why it's like, oh, I gotta find me a man with good dick. There's a lot of niggas out here that don't have good dick. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that most men are unhealthy and are not healthy enough to bring you to orgasm. And then you're not healthy enough to reach an orgasm. But, you know, you got music and you got the media, and they kind of all distract you from it. So you think it's all in your stroke game or your dick size or this, that, and the third. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that a lot of us, because of the way we eat, and because of the fact that our diets suck, we literally are not healthy. Sex, it literally requires you to be very, very healthy in order to engage in sex. Even down to a survival standpoint. You're not supposed to be allowed to have sex and engage in good quality sex unless you're healthy enough, because only when you're healthy can you produce good offspring. Literally, the state of mind that you're in and the state that your body is in, so physiologically and mentally, actually alters and affects the sperm as well as the egg that the sperm is fertilized in. It determines whether or not that child will be healthy or not. Just your state of mind, both mentally and physically. But a lot of people are not educated in that, and a lot of people are ignorant when it comes to these things. I'll just be glad when we can actually open our minds. And see, the problem is that when I tell you something that differs from what you've been told all your life, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to get defensive. That's rule number one. But the fact that you're getting defensive shows that, oh shit, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm wrong. You're already questioning what you've already been told. See, there's a principle of dogma, right? Dogmatic principle. It's basically the fact that the masses, majority of the time, are always wrong. If there's something trending, majority of the time, if everyone's doing it, it's not right. It's not good for you. It's kind of just that direction that they're trying to push you in. People tend to undermine how powerful your diet is and how much of an effect that hormones actually have on everything that you do. And a lot of our foods, like I said, have a hormonal imbalance to it. Like, for example, the plastic that you drink your water from leaks a chemical called BPA into the water. And so when you drink that, BPA actually messes with your hormonal balance. Ladies, y'all should know firsthand how powerful hormones can be. Look at what happens when you get pregnant or when you go through menopause. Just that irritability and that moodiness. The fact that right now, if you look around and you notice that with men right now, men seem more emasculine. Men tend to be moodier more of the time. They tend to be in their feelings more so than not. They tend to be more emotional. They tend to not be men. They tend to be very indecisive and don't know what they want. That is a proponent of estrogen. When you're estrogenic, you tend to be irritable and annoying and nagging to be around. When you tend to be more so, when you tend to have more testosterone in your system, you tend to be more calm, cool, and calm, cool, and collect. You tend to have less anxiety. You tend to be able to handle pressure better. You tend to be able to, do all of the things that come with being an alpha male. But a lot of our men are soft these days, man. And it's not their fault, it's the diet. Literally, I hate to say it, but the way society is going, it's like everything you do, from down to the fact that our jobs don't allow us to get active, down to the fact that they keep us busy and sedentary at the same time. It's like they sit you down in front of a computer or something where you're not being active and you're not moving around, but they keep your mind occupied. The foods that you eat, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it, it's making you into a bitch. It's making you into a fucking pussy. There's no other way to put it. But it's time that we wake up now so that our children are better for it and that the generations that come after us are better for it. That's all I've got for now, man. That was one of the things that's on my mind. I'm Realliveju.